Hello, everybody. It's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, here for another Think Tank Thursday. How are you today, my friends? I hope you're having a wonderful day today. It is almost the weekend and it's midway through October. Can you believe it? Seems like this entire month has just flown by. One thing I'm really excited about is, at least here in the state of Tennessee, and especially East Tennessee, the last couple of days anyway, it has actually felt like fall. And I am so excited. I am thrilled because, summertime is fine, but it gets so hot and icky and sticky and gross, and nobody loves that. Well, I don't love that anyway. I am a fall girl at heart. And so I am loving every minute of the beautiful, cool, crisp mornings and very subtle weather in the afternoons. It's just absolutely brilliant. I love it. I see some folks are coming in. So, hello. Thank you for being here. Come on in and say hi. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm looking forward to visiting with you this evening. So, for Think Tank Thursday, sorry, my eyeglasses are a little on the blurry side. Either that or it's me. I don't know. Think Tank Thursday is a little bit different than other live streams that you may be used to, in that it is a very interactive event. So, what that means is that as we go along throughout the evening, we're going to design the project together. That means I will give us a general idea of, let's say, the product we're going to use, and then a small idea of what kind of project we may do. And then I'm going to give you a lot of mostly this or that kind of questions. And based on your responses as to how the project turns out at the end of the evening. Okay. So it's a lot of fun. It's very hands on, interactive. And I hope that you guys are ready to participate with me. Okay. All right, so we have a couple of little housekeeping things. Stampin' Up! Has that incredible starter kit promotion going on now through the end of October, and you have two options to choose from. You can get either a whopping $125 worth of product for only $35, or you can get $189 worth of product for $99, and it is absolutely brilliant. The QR code for it is right over here. That reverse mirroring thing gets me every time. I'm not going to leave that on the screen for very long, though, so make sure you head over there if you're interested in getting more information about that. It'll take you right to my website, where you'll be able to get all of the details for both of the promotion offers. And I'm telling you, friends, if you are not already taking advantage of that discount, you are truly missing out. So anyway, if you would like to check that out, you can do that right there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that screen, and I'm going to turn the camera down so that we can go ahead and get started, okay? Because we have a fun little project to do this evening, and I can't wait to share it with you, okay? All right, guys, so let me go ahead and change that camera over here. I think that's good. There we go. All right. So this evening, we're actually going to be using this die. However, it comes with the Jolly Delivery Stampin' Die bundle. But I really, really prefer not to do a lot of Christmas before, to do a lot of Christmas before Halloween. So I'm not doing a Christmas one. However, I am using the die from it So I will tell you just a quick little bit about the Jolly Delivery stamp and die bundle, though, because it is really cute. And for Christmas time, it is going to be absolutely adorable. But it has these little dies right here that go along with this. And you see that they've got these little notches on them. Those little notches actually fit into this die. And when you cut it out, it will give you these designs of the little tab. Okay, so I'm going to show you what that looks like. But just know that we are only using the little box here. We're actually going to be creating something Halloweeny. Okay, so I've got our Halloween stamps and dies that are current right now, and I've got some Halloween colors of cardstock. I have our Halloween Designer Series paper, and we're going to see what kind of fun and fabulous Halloween treat we can come up with, okay? So the first thing we need to do, I'm going to go ahead and take this die out of its packaging, and I need you to tell me what shape, oh, come on now, what shape we are going to use for the little tab, okay? So let me pull this die off of here, and let me show you how these work, okay? So I'm just going to grab the standard circle here, okay? And literally all you do is line it up in those little notches just like that. And then you're able to die cut the whole thing. Now, I am going to use a piece of washi tape here because I don't want it to slip and slide around and cut into my die, which it could. So we want to make sure that we tape it still, okay? But we need to know first and foremost, are we going to use the star shape? Are we going to use the heart shape? Or are we going to just use the standard circle shape, okay? Now, while you guys are thinking about that, I'm going to bring out a couple of color choices for us to use for the box itself, okay? All righty then. Okay. I need to know if we're going to do the base in black or if we're going to do it in pumpkin pie. All right. So these are two very classic Halloween colors. They are the classic Halloween colors, right? The OG Halloween right here. But I need to know which color we're actually going to use for our box. Okay, so let me pull out a piece of cardstock from each one. And let's see here. Yeah, I think that's a big enough. Yes, it is. All right. And see if I have one for the orange. I don't believe I do. I may have to cut a fresh piece for that one, but that's okay. We can manage that. All right. Now, the size of paper that we're going to want for this is, let me grab my trimmer here. Right about 5.5, I believe. Yes, 5.5 by 5.5 by, I think, 6. 5.5 by 6.25 is what I'm gonna say. 5.5 by 6.25 is the size of paper we're going to need for the base here. Okay. All right, so let's see. I think we're gonna use the orange. This is pumpkin pie. It's our brightest of orange. All right, and since I'm doing 5.5 by 6.25, I can actually cut this to half a sheet. All right. And then I'm just going to use it like that. All right. Now I'm going to put this piece on, and I'm going to do it so that the little tab area is right here. It doesn't really matter so much, but we need to know what shape we're going to do there. So are we doing a star, a heart, or a circle? I think maybe we probably want to just do a standard circle. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got my die face down so that it's ready to go through the machine. And I'm putting that little die plate right there into the notched area. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is, where's my washi tape? Okay, I want to just put that right across like that, and then make sure, lift it up here, and come on now, make sure that it doesn't move on me. So make sure it's fitting on the paper as it needs to. There we go. Make sure that's in there good. There we go. All right, now we've got it set. And now I can take this piece and I'm going to run it through the die machine. Okay. Now y'all will have to excuse me. My top piece is really well worn, and I probably need to trade it out, but I really like to use my die plates until they die on me. So you'll see what I mean here in just a moment. There are actually a couple of broken pieces off of it. It's funny because it's cracked in, I don't know, 3 spots. So I'm going to run it back the direction it came from. Okay, there we go. And now I'll show you, just because I had talked about it, but take a look at that. Do you have any die plates that look like that? Have you used them that much? That is a very well-used die plate, isn't it? All right, I'm going to set that off to the side, and then let's go ahead and pull out this part. Okay. There we go. And then I'll put this off to the side, and I'm going to put this back in there. All right, there we go. Well done. Okay, now then we have our box base. And this is really easy to assemble from here. But the first thing that we want to do before we actually assemble it is we really want to burnish all of these score lines, okay? But one thing that I absolutely love about this little box is, look at this. It already has the tabs cut and mitered, the whole bit. It is ready to go. All right, so I'm just going to fold it on each of the score lines and give it a nice little press with the bone folder. Okay. Right there. Fold those little tabs in. Make sure they get burnished also. Okay. Come in here with that one. There we go. And this box is actually super simple to assemble. It makes a really cute little gift. Simple and easy. We like that, don't we? There we go. All right, there's that. And there. And last side. Okay. Oh, let me get that one. I missed the little tab there. All right. Now, here's how it assembles. Crazy easy. Okay, it comes across here, this comes here, this comes down, and these little tabs right here come up like that. Okay, so you see I've just squeezed them together. They come through that little center hole right there. This is much easier when it's full of treats, by the way. And then it opens back up like that and hold your box closed. Isn't that adorable? Super, super stinking cute. All right, now, of course, this is a Halloween box. So one thing that I want to do is I want to distress all of the edges in Memento Black ink. So I'm just going to grab my ink pad and my handy dandy sponge dauber. I'm going to grab up some ink along the outside edges of my ink pad, and I'm going around every single edge I can possibly get my little sponge dauber on, okay? So I'm going to come around this way. All right. We're going to come along this way. And the back side. Okay. And this way. And the other side. We don't really need to worry about the tabs too much because they are for sure going to be covered, but we do want to do the back side of them. That way those rectangles are inked up along the edges all the way around. All right, here we go. Just like that. Okay. This side and this side. And then, come on guys. This side and this side. All the way up there. And then we're going to come around the edges here. All right, put that guy down. We'll come back to that other section. I haven't forgotten it yet. Okay, we're just going around all of the edges here. Here we go. And then bring this guy down. There we go. Where are my Halloween fans at? Are you guys Halloween fans? Now listen, if you're watching and you are absolutely not a Halloween fan, don't fret, okay? Don't think that this project still isn't for you just because I'm doing it in Halloween theme. Obviously you can see how this cute box goes together, and you know it actually is part of the Jolly Delivery stamp and die bundle, so it's actually part of a Christmas bundle. But this could be used for so many fun things. This could be a bridal shower favors. It could be wedding favors. It could be Thanksgiving dinner place setting favors. It could be birthday gift. It could be so many cool gift boxes. It really could just be just about any kind of gift packaging you want, right? Okay, so you can see that I've inked around all of the edges, and now I'm going to come along and ink around these ones, okay? And what I'm going to do is just kind of turn it in so that I can go along the edges here and not get all of that black ink all over this area. Now, if you want it to be all over that area, that's totally fine. It's up to you. Certainly, you could turn it in and, just kind of very carefully here go along the inside of that circle just like that. And that's pretty cool. It gives you a nice little finished edge there. Let's do that again here on this side. So we match just nice and easy with the edge of the sponge dauber. Okay. Very good. Now I'm going to bend that piece in so that I can do the outer edges of that one. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, and then before I get any ink on myself, I'm going to close that up. All right, now then we have our little box, super stinking cute. And we can go ahead and assemble it again. And the best way to do just a basic assembly of this, you don't have to glue it if you don't want to. Obviously, you saw that it folds together really nicely, so it doesn't require any folding, or any gluing. But I am going to go ahead and glue it just so that it at least stays in the box format, and then I'm going to put some candy in here so that it's easy to get it closed again, because it really doesn't need to be that difficult to close. It's just because it's hollow. So, okay. All right. What I'm going to do is I am actually going to put glue on each of the 4 little tabs there, and I'm going to make that part permanently closed. Okay, so I'm going to make it permanently squared up. All right. For me, I like the idea of the stability of that. You don't have to, like I said, it doesn't have to be done. You can leave it just totally open, but I like it. It's just a little bit more sturdy, I think. Okay, not that it matters, of course, at all. All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, there's that one, and come on, buddy. There we go. All right, just like so. Okay, and then we have a bit sturdier of a box. All right. Okay, now listen, why aren't you staying? I didn't hold you very well, apparently. Or maybe you need more glue. What did I do? You're good. Okay, maybe I need to put a little bit more glue on there. I didn't put very much. Trying not to overdo it. You definitely don't need very much glue. There we go. Close it up. All right, and there. Okay, now then, you will notice that this box is a bit of a rectangle, okay? So the 2 sides here are a little bit longer than these 2 sides. So I want to put paper on this and on the 4 sides. I'm going to measure that out. But first thing I need to do is figure out what paper we're going to put on it, right? So I've got the Spooky Sweet 12 by 12 Designer Series paper here. And let me just pull out some of the bits and pieces. Okay. And this paper is really cool because it also comes with 2 sheets of little die cut images that you can use. And I think we're going to use something from here today. So I'm going to set those off to the side for just a minute while I bring in the Designer Series paper. So this one right here is obviously my favorite. I've used it a bit already. I love all of the little candy bits and everything. And it would look really, really cute on here. But can we think of something else? Let me see. We have this paper that has the gray kind of streaks on that side. We've got this one that would be fun. It has the little creatures that you can fussy cut around. Let's see. This one here. I wonder if we might be able to use this piece maybe. What would that look like? Oh, just about the little house. What do you think? Having that on the back, that could be cute. And then maybe a little creature standing in the doorway. That's kind of neat, isn't it? I like that idea. Then if we do that, though, what would we use for... Maybe we could use some of the purple for the sides. All right, that's a good option. And let's see here. That one we've already got. Okay. Oh, there's this one here. This one has the building with the windows. That's kind of neat. And then on this side, it's white with the little orange streaks in it. That's pretty cool. Kind of has a Tennessee Vols feel to it, though. Not that I'm hating or anything. All right. Okay, so that looks like what we've got here. So what if we did... I really kind of like that idea. I thought that was really cool. We could, though, use this for the sides. Not this piece, obviously, but we could do that, and that's kind of tied in together. Or we could use the candy, but that seems kind of busy to me. All right, let's do this. I think that's really cool. Okay, so now this is going to require a little bit of kind of effort here. So let's see. It's a 3-inch by 2 1/4 inch box. So we would want 2 7/8 by 2 and... Oh, I said 2 1/4. I meant 2 1/2 if I said 2 1/4. It's 3 by 2 1/2. So we would want 2 7/8 by 2 3/8 right here. Let's just see. Okay. If we were to bring in... If we were to cut it right at the edge of the pillar there, we'd get the tiniest little bit of tree. So I kind of feel like we should go somewhere in between there. Let me grab my pencil, and I'm just going to show you guys. And there's probably 1,000,001 ways to do this, but I'm going to put my pencil mark there and my pencil mark here, and that's going to show me where to trim it on this side. And then let me go ahead and do that right quick before I lose it. Okay. Pretty good. All right, now this is 2 7/8, and that should line me right up, and it does perfectly. Okay, so now we have this, and then we're 2 3/8 of an inch, right? So if I were to start out with the top of the door here, that's going to cut me off way down here, and we really don't want that. So let's see. if I were to do 2 3/8 inch here, it would cut me off right there. So do we like the way that looks? Do we want to move it up a little bit here? Maybe we want to cut it off here and then we can use this for something else. So you can see here, there's that. What is the size of that? That's only 2 inches, by the way. So that wouldn't work. But if we did 2 3/8 inches, lining it up with the edge of the planters, that puts us right about there. And that's not too bad, right? Okay, let's try that and see how we like it. All right, so I'm going to go right at the edge of the planters. Okay, and that gives us a little something that we can use for later. And then this is going to be at 2 3/8 this way. All right, so now we have a little strip we might be able to use for something else there. And then we have this piece that we can use for our box. All right, now, of course, I want to ink around these edges as well, because inking around edges softens up the cut lines and makes a project look a little bit more finished, I think. All right, here we go. All right. Hey, Miss Ruth, how are you, darling? I'm doing a little spooky Halloween treat box. Hey, Miss Greta, how are you, love? I miss you, darling. Miss Greta is one of my OG paper girls, and she moved far, far away from me to be close to her daughter, and she's having a great time, and we're missing her very much. I'm making a little Halloween treat box using a Christmas die. It comes from the Jolly Delivery Stamp and Die bundle. It's this super cute little box die. And you girls are just in time. So hello, thank you for being in here. Okay, I've got the base of it done. It's done with pumpkin pie cardstock, and I've just inked around all of the edges. And it comes together like this. So this little piece goes through the little hole there, if it'll let me do it. It doesn't want to because it doesn't have any candy in it. It says you can't close me if there's no candy inside. And I completely understand that theory. All right, let's see. There we go. Okay, whatever. And then and then it folds out like that on both sides and it locks it in and it's great. So what we're going to want to do is, I think we're going to put this guy here, and that's really cute. And then we've got some little die cut pieces that we can use. And I am really excited about using whatever of them we want to. Meanwhile, also, I think we can use, let's see, where's that scrap at? There it is. We've got these little beautiful purple strips here that we can use. And I'm thinking we can either do the little adorable fairy bear right here, or we can do this little guy here. I don't even know what he is. So if you guys have any idea what this guy is, I don't know if he's like, I don't know, maybe I have no idea. A bird, like a crow with a toucan face. I don't know. A toucan has different colors, so I'm not sure exactly what that is supposed to be. But anyway, we have options here is all I'm saying. Now, I do want to make sure that I've got this kind of pointed upright. So let me see if I can get some candy in here and make this easier to close up a little bit, okay? So I've got my big old bag of Halloween chocolate here, which, you know, everything is better with chocolate, right? So we've got some Reese's peanut butter cups. We've got, let's see, Kit Kats, of course. We've got Milk Duds are a little too tall. We've got Almond Joys and little Reese's pumpkins. That's actually really cute. So let's see what all we can put in here. All right. There we go. And maybe a Kit Kat. And I think I could squeeze another Kit Kat in there. Oh, come on. Come on. Maybe not. Okay. Chocolate can't squeeze that much. All right. Well, that's okay. We've still got 2 fabulous pieces of chocolate. And that's wonderful. So we're going to just leave those in there. And then I'm going to close that up. And now look at how much easier that is to close. Isn't that wonderful? All right. So there's the little box. It is so stinking cute. And as I was saying, you know, this box could be used for, oh gosh, any different kinds of fun little gift favors for Thanksgiving table place settings, for Christmas gifts, stocking stuffers, all kinds of things. It would be perfect. All right, so now that I've got that done, and I'm wanting to make sure that this little flap is like pointed up, right? Because this is the center medallion here. And you know, I think I noticed that this die, it's meant to die cut this little compass piece here, but I think I might be able to die cut a piece of maybe like the, you know, the Halloween paper and glue it on there and then just crease the edges so that it bends as well. So I don't know. We'll see. That's an option that we have available there. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that we have the option of doing this guy here, and then we can either put our little pretty princess, fairy princess, whatever she is, or we can do, I'm going to call this just the little toucan dude, okay? Because he's got the long snout and, you know, he has whiskers, which obviously a toucan doesn't, and it looks like a nose, so, you know, who knows what it's actually supposed to be. Maybe he's a crow dressed as a cat. I don't know, okay? He's cute. He's got a cute little pumpkin bucket. I don't know. I don't know. All right. So I need to know, though, are we going to use the little fairy princess, or are we going to use the little toucan dude, or are we going to use something else? Like we could, let me punch this guy out. We could put him there. We could put the cauldron with the bubbles. That could be fun. But it's up to you. What do you guys think? Should we put the little fairy princess or the little toucan dude, or what do you guys think? And it doesn't even have to go like right at the door. I think it should be offset just a little bit. So any of them are going to be great. So there's that one. Let me bring out this one. There's that guy. He's cute. Okay. So we have options. What do you guys think? All right, and then I'm going to put this out of the way for just a second so that I can cut some of my pieces here. Let's see. All right, so while you guys are thinking, let me know. Okay, let me know what we're thinking here. And I'm double checking to see if I have any smaller pieces that we can use for side panels. Okay, so that's what I'm making all this loud ruckus for. All right, we'll just do that. Okay. All right, now that we've got this piece here, and I still need to know, guys, which of the little critters maybe we want to use to dress it up. Ruth says the pumpkins and the crow. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, so I'm going to leave that sit there. Actually, I'm not. So then here's the next question. Initially, I was thinking that if we possibly were going to use the little fairy that she's got purple, we could use the purple on the sides. But if we're going to use the crow and the pumpkins, which is super cute, then we can use different colors there. And instead, we can go with the darker gray, or we can do, where is it? Right here. We can do this orange and black, and that would be very cute too. All right, so, okay, Miss Ruth, you have given us the black and the crow, or the crow and the pumpkins rather. So let's decide from there. Are we going to use the gray, or are we going to use the orange and black for the side panels? Okay, so what do you guys think? The gray or the orange and black for the side panels? And I will go ahead and take these guys out of the way. And I'm going to put this piece on. Okay. Here we go. And I want to make sure I'm pointing it the direction I want it to go. There we go. Very nice. All right. So we have that. Or we have the gray. I kind of like the gray too, Ruth. You know your stuff, sister. All right. Now then, this was 2 7/8, right? So I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 7/8. I'm going to cut 2 of them at 3/8, I believe, but let's double check because we could be wrong there. Yes, right about 3/8. Okay, so 3/8 is the longer bar just before the 1/2 inch mark. So we'll do 3/8 twice. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and cut 3/8 and 3/8. This is a little bit of homeschool math here for you. 3/8 and 3/8 is 6/8, which is 3/4. So we're going to cut a 3/4 inch piece here. And then I'm going to cut it down to 2 3/8 here. Okay. And then my little 3/8 lining up on either side of my cut mark right there. There are other ways you can do that, but that is the easiest way for me. Okay. All right. Now, of course, we want to put some ink around the edges because, it looks a little plain like that. But when we add a little bit of ink around the edges, it just gives it a more finished look. And when it comes to Halloween type stuff, especially, it gives it a really dark and eerie look. Oh dear. I'm having more fun with this than I probably should today. But you know what? I generally love Halloween. I love all the little fun and spooky, not necessarily really macabre and morbid types of things. I don't really like that stuff so much, but I really like seeing all the little kids dressed up in their super cute little costumes. And it's one night of the year that they get to pretend whatever they want, and of course get candy. And candy is always good. So imagination running wild. Lots of fun, little spooks along the way. That's even more fun. Trick or treat is always a really good time. Are you tricking or are you treating? We shall see. We used to dress up the whole yard and the house and everything. Of course, we live out in the country now, and not a whole lot of people see it. And of course, nobody would come by for trick or treating because we're really really out of the way of everything. But when we lived in town, we had things dressed up, and we would dress up to hand candy out, and it was just so much fun. It was just so much fun. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach my little strips here. And of course, the longer strips are going to go along the top and the bottom. And I'm just going to fold that over because it's a little bit wider than my strips are, but that is a-okay. Just means that it is glued all the way to the edges. All right, and there we go. Okay, there's one. And the other side, here we go. Okay, super cute. Gray was a good call. All right. There we go. Nice. And last one, last but not least, oops. Let's just make a big whoop with it. It's okay. Fold over the edges and it is great. All right. And there we go. So that is super cute. All right. Now then, I definitely want to put this guy up on dimensionals. And I'm thinking about something, if I hadn't adhered the tabs just yet, and so this is for your reference more so than mine, or for my future reference. I glued the tabs, right? I glued all 4 of the tabs. Had I glued just the bottom 2 tabs and then put a little bit of glue right here along the flaps, it could have made a pocket like this, right? And then your candy could have come out the top. As it is, I have it made so that the candy comes out the front. And either way is totally fine. However, I'm saying this just to give you an idea as you're designing your little box here, because we could have tied a little ribbon right around this part, around the bottom section, and brought it around to the front here and tied it. And there would be a little ribbon across here, a little ribbon up here, and it could have helped embellish the front. As it is, it's not going to be able to go that way because I have it set to open up, from the front this way rather than from the top. And that's okay. But I'm just thinking aloud. Those are different options that we could have done, right? All right, now let me go ahead and put this guy on. Okay, I want to put one right there and then give me that little skinny one. There we go. Okay, so now we've got him there. Now, of course, we can also put in some, let's see, we've got some candy corn and we have bats. We could put one of these bats right here up like on a little dimensional right there. That would be cute. Let me see. I've got my black dimensionals here. All right. Grab one of them and put that there. Okay. Squeeze his little wings together. Okay. That way we're not covering up the little spooters in the window because they're really cute. And maybe, just maybe, we want a couple of little candy corn. Well, maybe we don't want to do them like that. Maybe we want them separate so that we can put them how we want. Yeah. What about there? I like that. Okay. And then how about, let's glue those down before I forget that they're not glued down. How's that? Oh, I've gotten gunky. Hold on. There we go. We are almost done with this little treat holder already, my friends. That is absolutely wonderful. That means it's a really simple and easy one to do. And let's go ahead and put this little guy up on dimensionals, shall we? I think that would be just fine. Actually, I've got some little half pieces here. Let's put those on. There we go. All right, there's that kid. He's looking good. And then let's put this guy on. Having these little pre-printed die cut pieces in the designer series paper really can be handy not just with little treat holders like these, but imagine being able to do some little scrapbooks or, whatever else you'd like to do. Something we could also have done here before we assembled it is we could have stamped on it here. We could have cut paper to make layers, but I didn't want to get into all of that necessarily. I wanted this to be the back side and then this be the front. So what I think, we have a couple of options here. I like the trick or treat here and the happy Halloween and spooky from this one. I think the all tricks or no tricks, all treats is a little bit too big, but let's take a look at, okay, so there's eat, drink, and be scary. If we were to break that up into two, we could put it there and there. So we could do that. Or same thing with trick or treat. We could put trick or treat. So we could put that there. Let's see. Happy Halloween. A little bit big. We could do it like a banner across there. That was this one. Come on, you. I like the trick or treat and separating it out. Or we could do spooky, okay, and put it on just like a little strip of white cardstock. So I'm going to ask you guys what you think. Shall we do trick or treat or spooky? Okay, so you guys decide. And while you're deciding, I am going to go ahead and stamp both. Just because I know I'm going to be able to use them either way, so it's not going to matter, but it will also give you a better view of what they look like here. So think about trick or treat or spooky. Tap, 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 not smush, 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 right? Okay. There's trick or treat. And with spooky, I want to put him on my little pierce mat because it's photopolymer. But I'm still going to do the tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. Okay. And he's a little bit taller, but a shorter word. So there we go. All right. So there we go. We've got trick or treat or spooky. Let me go ahead and clean those stamps right quick. All right. There we go. All right, let's see here. Okay, Ruth says traditional trick or treat. Absolutely. I think that's perfect. So let me go ahead and grab that there. And we could leave it whole and do it like this. Or we could cut it into sections and put trick or treat, singular words. So what do you think? Should we leave it whole and pop it? Or should we put it in singular words? Okay, so now that's our next question. Leave it whole or put it in individual words. Okay, so you guys decide there. What are we doing? And Let's see here. I'm going to grab... What am I going to grab? I don't know. Maybe nothing. All right, single words. Okay, you got it, Ruth. All right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this strip a little bit more narrow, but before I do, I'm just going to go ahead and separate the words. Okay, and that way I can focus a little bit more on trimming the words. Now the words are a little bit curved because, you know, they were a banner, but we're going to be able to just kind of tidy them up a little bit. So there's treat. Okay, or there we go. And trick. All right, there we go. Okay, let me slide those off the table there. Oh, I just love it when that works, right? Okay, now I'm going to put these on dimensionals. Just a little here. Okay, does that work? Yeah, pretty darn close. There. These little tiny black dimensionals are fabulous. And actually, the wonderful thing about the black dimensionals is that you get both sizes in the same package. So unlike the other ones, the white ones, where you kind of have to choose, are you getting the big ones or the little ones? The black ones give you both together, which is nice. All right, so we're going to do just, well, there we go. All right. Now then, let's lay it out. Treat, trick. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, now we probably need to put a little. All right. This is the next question and probably the last one. You see the trick or treat words in Memento Black and not edged in black, okay? Do we go ahead and go around the edges of the words in the black? Or because our little image pieces don't have it, do we just leave it? So what do you think? Do we go around the edges of the words in black, or do we leave it just like so? Okay. What do you think? Color or leave it? You tell me what we should do. Color or leave it? All right. That's our last. Go ahead and go around it, she says. Yes, girl. I do love the way you think. I am all about adding up the ink on the edges. Okay, there we go. Oh, hold on now, friend. Okay. About need tweezers for these guys, don't we? But we got this. All right. Okay, now I'm going to lay them back out again just so that I make sure I've got plenty of room. Yep, there we go. And we are almost done, folks. We are all but done. Okay, let me get my handy dandy pick tool here, and that's going to help me just kind of lay them out. All right. Okay, there we go. I like it. What do you think, guys? Super cute. Absolutely adorable. Actually, I think I want to lift that off just a little. There we go. There we go. All right. There you go, friends. A super, super stinking cute little treat holder. Absolutely adorable. And so much fun to make. All part of the, what was that? Spooky Sweet. And let's see, we used the Fright Night stamp. Trick or treat, right? Okay, very cute. I love that you can mix and mingle your products and use different things to make fun stuff. Remember that the box is actually from the Jolly Delivery dies, and it coordinates with the Jolly Delivery stamp set that is a Christmas themed stamp set. So perhaps you will see a super cute little Christmassy themed gift box before long as well. We shall have to see, huh? All right, folks, let me go ahead and switch my camera around here. Doo-doo. There we go. All right, guys. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me this evening and for helping me create this really cute little treat holder. He's absolutely adorable and so much fun to do. So, of course, the chocolate inside is going to be the really fun part, isn't it? What's your favorite chocolate? I think this bag right here I got from Walmart, and I think it's probably my absolute favorite. Everything in here are candies that I like, but I think I don't know, the Almond Joy right there is probably my absolute favorite, but you know, chocolate is chocolate. So all of them are really good. We always like to get the candy that we like as well. That way, you know, if everybody else doesn't eat it, then we can eat it because, you know, chocolate. Anyway, thank you again so much for hanging out with me this evening, folks. I hope that you enjoyed the adorable little project. I hope that you'll take a look at the Jolly Delivery dies and the Halloween goodies if you're into Halloween. And if not, then do some Christmassy type stuff or something else with it. It is a super cute little gift box. Okay, this one's definitely one to put in your collection. All right, guys, thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Thursday evening. And I'm closing up my glue bottle before I forget, because I am notorious for doing that. And I hope you all have a fabulous weekend as well. Thank you again. And I hope I'll see you next week, next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for another Think Tank Thursday. Okay. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. Bye.